Hi, I'm Dina and
I'm Itab.
And we're going to be making cherry kebab today, which is a recipe from our book, Syria Recipes from Home.
And it's a recipe from Aleppo. It's a sweet and sour dish. Yeah, it's delicious.
So we're starting by making the meatballs. So I'm chopping some parsley.
And I'm going to be making the cherry sauce, which is, I know Syrian's going to be terrified. I'm using tinned cherries.
Don't tell your mum. Don't tell Itab's mum that she's using tinned cherries.
Also, I'm going to use some fresh ones. It's just like when we were writing the book, we just wanted the recipes to be easy to make, and you can't find cherries in the UK all the time. So we tried it with...
And they're really expensive as well.
Really expensive. So we tried it with tinned cherries. It was completely fine, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the parsley. Should we whack it in the mince?
Yeah. Oops, sorry.
There we go. And we've got some onions that we are caramelizing.
So my trick to great meatballs is parsley and caramelized onions.
It's not that easy to really, really finely chop them. But the best way is to do it in the food processor, which not many people probably think of doing.
You know, cook them then and
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Right. Okay, I'll do the meatballs. Do you wanna take over with the sauce? I think it's...
Yeah, doing it with fresh cherries is a laborious task.
I need salt and pepper. Salt.
Okay, so
Baharat.
I'm going to baharat. We have our own mix of seven baharat, which is here.
Homemade, yeah.
7 spices, so it's a mixture of cumin, black pepper, cinnamon, cardamom, ginger, loads of spices.
Right,
And then the best thing is to really get stuck in with your hands. I can smell it. I love that smell. It's so good.
Right, I just need oven tray.
Oven tray, yes.
Making them meatballs.
I like using my hands to cook.
Yeah. I never use gloves. You know, like in the Arab world, they all use, on camera, they use gloves.
I know. It looks quite clinical and really
because you don't use them at home, so why would you use them? And also, if your hands are clean, then...
Yeah, exactly. And also, top chefs never use gloves, they all use their hands.
You can see Nigella Lawson with gloves on.
Okay. Nearly done?
Quick.
Yep. I remember we were in Beirut and we went to an Armenian restaurant. It was a Syrian Armenian restaurant. And the girl I was with, she said, "Oh yeah, they have cherry kebab." And I didn't know what cherry kebab was. It was the first time I'd ever experienced it. And then it came out and it was wow,
but
cherry kebab.
Loads of people in Syria never heard of cherry kebab.
Yeah, because it's specific to Aleppo, isn't it?
Aleppo, yeah. And also just fancy restaurants in Damascus.
Yeah.
So you can't find it anywhere. So I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of oil, not very much though, because it's quite fatty.
Okay, so these are ready. The oven is warming up.
Not now.
No, not now. No. The oven's warming up.
Okay, well, shall we do
So we'll put those over there. Actually, let's put those over there. And then 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Sort of improvise.
Yeah, and pomegranate molasses too.
Yep. It's all there. Do you want me to get it? And we're going to just mash the cherries a bit, and you can put the full contents of the tin in, so it doesn't leave the sauce in it.
Pomegranate molasses.
Yep.
We're running out of...
I know, I got that from Beirut, from Shatila. Okay, I love pomegranate molasses. Let me get the cinnamon.
I'll get it.
So you just let that simmer, bit of salt, for look. It's very simple. We've got the meatballs there that didn't take very long to make with minced lamb, caramelized onions, parsley, salt and pepper, 7 spices, 7 baharat. Yep, and make them into little balls, tiny bit of oil, and they're ready to go in the oven at the last minute. And then in here we have cherries,
pomegranate molasses, lemon, cinnamon,
salt and pepper. That's it. Then you just leave it to simmer.
And then you cook, after you kind of half cook the meatballs, and then you complete the cooking with the sauce, with the cherry sauce.
Okay, should we toast some pine nuts?
Yeah.
Because it's very rare that you see a Syrian dish without pine nuts. This is still on, yeah. And we need the flatbread. Okay, so here we have some Arabic flatbread, and we're just gonna cut it into little triangles. And this dish, back in the day, when rich merchants would pass through Aleppo on their travels, they would stop and they would have cherry kebab, wouldn't they? Itab.
Yeah.
Because it's like a really luxurious dish and quite expensive and time consuming to make, so you know, this would always be for them. Kind of signified wealth. There we go. So I mean, you don't have to arrange them like this, but it's nice. And it can be eaten with rice or bread. So there we go. And then we'll pour the cherry kebab in the middle. I made too much bread, that can be for extra.
Cherry Azzam.
Pine nuts. Syrian food always has to have a crunch, whether it's almonds, walnuts, pine nuts. Cashews, any kind of nut, just to add that little crunch, and it really does make a difference. How's the oven?
Yeah, still not. Yeah,
should we put it in? Okay.
Just can you time 4 minutes?
Yeah. There we go. Good. Can I taste?
Yeah.
That's the 4 minutes. Shall I turn it off?
Yep.
Do you want to put them in?
You don't want it to be. Well, let me just make sure that the sauce is actually ready. So I'm just putting the meatballs inside the cherry sauce. Also, like all the fat that comes out as well, so that will give it a nice flavour.
So Itab's just put the meatballs into the cherry sauce, and we're just going to let that simmer for a few more minutes. And our dish is ready, so we have a plate with the flatbread, parsley chopped up finely to garnish, toasted pine nuts as well to garnish, to add that little bit of crunch, and then we'll be ready. It's very simple, really.
I think that's it. Done. I think I can put this.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Fine.
And here we go.
There you go.
There we go. Ta-da!
Now maybe hide the mess I created.
There we go. Cherry kebab. Do you want to taste it?
I have a bit of cinnamon.
Really? I'm going for the bread.
Just do it.
Nice.
Okay.
A success.
A success.
Nice. It's good when you get the bread in and all the juices.
Amazing.